everybody. This is Sonya Buchanan with Comfort and Promises broadcast. We are outside today at the park, and I thought maybe this would be a great time to do a little broadcasting. I want to talk to you and do Bible study on a chapter that I read last week, and wanted to share it with the audience. So we're going to take it from John 10. If you want to go ahead and get your Bibles, and you'll join with me as I go through these chapters. But we'll be right back after this commercial, and we're going to just dive right on into the chapter of John.
Oh my god, I gotta tell you, I was having a moment and I decided to surf the net, and that's when I came across this website called Comforting Promises, which is a great website, by the way. And get this, on the website was a featured book called The Journey by Sonya Buchanan that was recently published. So I immediately downloaded the ebook on Kindle because it talked about, having faith for your life purpose. And let me tell you, the book is super great. I was so motivated to get back into the game, pursuing my goals. And you gotta get the book because it's worth the read.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Sonya Buchanan with Comfort and Promises broadcast. I've decided today to do Bible study in the park. It's a beautiful scenery, and it's really nice out here. And I wanted to go over a nugget that I received last week. And let me tell you the reason why I'm going to share Bible study with you. I was having a concern. I kept trying to find the answers until I started praying, and I asked the Lord to reveal the answer to me in the Word, because I'm very secure, and when He brings it to me in the Word, it just brings complete confirmation. But we're going to take it from John 10, and let me get my glasses to make sure I read and be able to see what I'm reading. In John 10, Jesus is actually talking about the Good Shepherd and his sheep. He being the Good Shepherd, and we, the Christians or the believers, are his sheep. But he was addressing the Pharisees. But there's a nugget. I cannot wait to get to this part with the nugget that I wanted to share. But anyway, here we go. It says in John 10, we're starting at John 10:1, and it says, "Verily, verily, truly I tell you, Pharisees, anyone who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate, by the gate." I don't have Wi-Fi, you guys, so I just hit something and it took me off my page, so excuse me. It says, "Verily, truly, I tell you, Pharisees, anyone who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate, but climb in by some other way, is a thief and a robber. The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep listens to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not recognize his voice." Jesus used this figure of speech, but the Pharisees did not understand what he was telling them. Of course they did not understand, because the Pharisees wasn't his sheep, and they didn't hear his voice. There was a new order had just came on the scene, and they were rebelling against anything that Jesus was speaking about, okay? Then 7, it says, John 10:7, it says, "Therefore Jesus said again, Verily, truly, I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who have come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep have not listened to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved." This is the salvation introduction. And it says, "They will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." It says, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep. So when he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. Then the wolf attacks the flock and scatters it. The man runs away because he is a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep." Okay? And so he's going on and explaining this to the to the Pharisees. Yes, he is talking to the Pharisees. But there was one particular verse I want to go into where it's leading up to the nugget that I wanted to share. And 22, the title, it says, further conflict over Jesus' claim. And what claim is that? That he is the Christ. Because he's explaining to the Pharisees that he is the shepherd of the sheep. And it goes in, it says, John 10:22, it says, then came the festival of dedication at Jerusalem. It was winter, and Jesus was in the temple courts walking in Solomon's colonnade. The Jews who were there gathered around him, saying, how long will you keep us in suspense? If you are the Messiah, tell us plainly. Jesus answered, I did tell you, but you did not believe. The works I do in my Father's name testify of me, but you do not believe because you are not my sheep. He let them know that they're not his sheep. He says, my sheep listens to my voice. I know them and they follow me. I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish. No one will snatch them out of my hand. My Father, who has given them to me, is greater than all. No one can snatch them out of my Father's hand, and I and the Father are one. Again, it says, in 31, it says, again, the Jewish opponent picked up stones to stone Jesus for saying these things. They were angry. It says, but Jesus said to them, I have shown you many good works from the Father. For which of these do you stone me? And then they replied, it says, we are not stoning you for any good work, they replied, but for blasphemy, because you, a mere man, claim to be God. Okay? Jesus answered them and says, it is not written in your law, I have said you are gods. If he called them gods, to whom the word of God came, the scriptures cannot be set aside. What about the one whom the Father set apart as his very own and sent into the world? Why then do you accuse me of blasphemy, because I said I am God's son? Do you not believe me unless I do the works of my Father? But if I do them, even though you did not believe me, believe the works, that you may know and understand that the Father is in me and I in the Father. Again, they tried to seize him, but he escaped their grasp. Again, because they accused him of not being the Christ. This also says that they were not on one accord. A new order had come in, and Jesus explaining his role, but they did not believe. Okay, I'm getting to the nugget because I'm really excited about the nugget that I wanted to share with you that shows Jesus being so much like us. Okay, and it goes on and says, in John 10:34, it says, Jesus answered them. He says, is it not in your law? I said you are gods. I wanted to go over that part again. I have a friend and we always address each other like, hey little G, hey little G. And there's indication of saying little gods because of this very verse. I just wanted to share that part. But anyway, so after Jesus having this conflict over his position, his purpose in the earth, to walk out the word, to fulfill the law, it goes on to say in John 10:40, this is the nugget that I wanted to share with you all, that says how Jesus relates to us today. It says, then Jesus went back across the Jordan to the place where John had been baptizing in the early days. There he stayed, and many people came to him. I want to stop right here. After the conflict, this is the part that was revealed to me, and I was so humbled at this, because it's almost as if God opened up my heart and allowed me to feel how Jesus was feeling at the moment. It stated, let me share it with you again. It says in 40, it says, then Jesus went back across the Jordan. After he had the conflict, he went back across the Jordan, and it says, to the place where John had been baptizing in the early days. The reason why I want to bring out this nugget is because at the place where John was baptizing is where the Father, his Father, confirmed who he is. You remember when Jesus went to John the Baptist, and John the Baptist took him and baptized him in the Jordan. Now, after the conflict with the Pharisees, Jesus now goes back across the Jordan to the very place where God, our Father, his Father, had confirmed who he is. It's almost as if Jesus is sitting there like, wow, here I am. I have just come out of the wilderness and I'm doing all these miracles and I'm not being accepted and I'm not being welcomed. That's how I was feeling, maybe because that's how I was feeling, probably, I don't know. But it gave me indication that Jesus went back to the place where he knew the confirmation about who he is. Sometimes we have to do that, and especially when, things are not working out or we're trying all these different, places to accomplish what we have been confirmed of what we're doing and where we're going and why we're doing it. And we always go back to where the confirmation, because it brings confidence within us. And to me, I believe Jesus was doing that at the time we had conflict with the Pharisees. He went back to the place where the Father opened heaven and confirmed Jesus that he is the Messiah. He's the Christ. He is the one. He sent his Son to fulfill the word. And so Jesus, this is the sensitive part right here that I got a little humbled, because the Father is so amazing. You guys, this is what the Father does. This is what he did for his Son. And John 10:40. I'm going to read this again. It says, "Then Jesus went back across the Jordan to the place where John had been baptizing in the early days. There he stayed." He just sat there. Because to me, I felt like Jesus said, well, I'm just going to sit here because this is what I was confirmed by my Father, what I have been previously doing before the conflict with the Pharisees, who were the leaders at that time. So he stayed there. Now this is how awesome the Father is. He stayed there. Now Jesus, I can only imagine Jesus was like this. Woe is me. I've been doing all, this is because this is how we do it. I've been doing all these things and they still won't accept me. I'm just, ab-living, okay, you guys. Oh, wow. So, I can imagine Jesus just sitting there, at the Jordan, like with his head down there. I know the Father confirmed me. I know I was anointed, because there was no way I would have went to the wilderness and got attacked for 40 days and 40 nights by the enemy, and he was questioning my identity, but I stood up against him. But when the Pharisees came, he went back to the Jordan and sat there. And this is how amazing the Father is to his Son, Jesus. He says, there he stayed. He said, and many people came to him. Now, how did they know Jesus was over there at the Jordan? He said, many people came to him. I believe the Father sent those people to Jesus. And this is what they said. It says, they said to Jesus, they says, though John never performed a sign, all that John said about this man was true. And in that place, many believed in Jesus. God sent a whole flock of people to confirm who he is. He sent the same people that Jesus was sent to share the gospel, to fulfill the word. He didn't actually was sent to the Pharisees. He was sent to the people who came to clarify and also confirm what the Father confirmed. A lot of times we want, everybody to accept us. But it's not important that everybody accept us. It's only important that the people recognize and confirm who you are to those you are sent. He says, my sheep will hear my voice. Jesus had just said this to the Pharisees. He said, my sheep hears my voice. He said, a stranger they will not listen. And they were sent to Jesus at the Jordan. And they confirmed, he says, this man, it says, though John never performed a sign, which they were confirming that he's performing signs. He says all that John said about this man was true. And in that place, many believed in Jesus because they were the sheep to hear the shepherd's voice. That's the nugget I wanted to talk to you guys about that the Father sent those people while Jesus is at the place where he confirmed him. The Father sent a group of people. I think it was a multitude of people. People who had already been seeing Jesus performing signs and wonders. And he sent those people, raised up Jesus. I can only imagine Jesus' hair raised up, you know, to listen to the people, confirmed what the Father had confirmed at the place where he was confirmed. That's the nugget I want to talk to you all about. You know, don't be upset that people are not accepting you. Just be confident. Be confident in when the Father has revealed to your heart who you are. He will send someone to confirm who you are. He will send someone to confirm that you are exactly who God created you to be. You're exactly who you are. Just be excited, be joyful, because the Father will send. He did it for Jesus. And we see here, Jesus was in his human state, went back to confirm and sat there. I can only imagine, you know, it's not written in the word, but you know, I'm kind of like the person who kind of read between the lines. You know, Jesus going back to the place where the Father confirmed him. And he's like, I'm going back to the place. Well, maybe the Father will come back to reconfirm. Well, he did. He sent a multitude. And they testified of who he is. They were believers. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. And that is the nugget I wanted to share. I don't even know what this Bible study is going to be. Well, you know what? Maybe the title should be The Confirmation. I think that's a good title. The Confirmation. That's a great time. That's a great title. Confirmation. Don't y'all think that was pretty good? Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. And so we're going to end this Bible study. I try not to make the Bible studies long and long-winded, but whenever I get nuggets to share, I like to bring forth to the audience who decide they want to, you know, view this message. And also, I don't take it very lightly when I do the Bible studies, because you never know. Someone may click on the video in my YouTube page, Sonya Buchanan YouTube page, and it may encourage them. I try to be as you know, just a little nuggets. I don't want to do a entire Bible study on the book of John, but just little parts that have blessed me the previous week. That's all I have for you today. And listen, you guys, if you're interested in seeing the videos, I'm going to post the video on my Facebook account, and I'm also going to upload the video on my YouTube page, which is Sonya Buchanan YouTube. So if you want to go back and listen to it, you can go click on it at any time. And also, check us out on our other Instagram page. But before that, please, whatever you do, click on the subscribe to our YouTube page, and then you will get the uploads and the indications, the notifications that we have uploaded videos. We do massive videos during the week, and you will get the notification if you're signed up on our YouTube page. So go to some of our social media. We have 2 accounts of Instagram, and that's See Promises, and I am Sonya Buchanan. And we have 2 Twitter accounts, and that's See Promises and Sonya Buchanan Twitter account. And we have Facebook. You can go to Sonya Buchanan and Comfort and Promises. So until next time, you guys, listen, send me an email. Tell me what you think about the Bible studies. Tell me what you think about Comfort and Promises. I love to receive the emails. We get emails all the time, and I correspond with people. But let me know what you think. But remember, subscribe to our YouTube page. Until next time, this is Sonya Buchanan with Comfort and Promises. Bye, you guys.